Awesome.
Let's see. Okay, cool. It looks like we're connected. Zoom is doing its thing, it appears.
I was just doing that this morning. Normally I live stream into my Facebook group with Ecamm.
Yeah.
And today I had a guest on, and to try and make it as easy as I could for the guest, instead of jumping through all the hoops with Ecamm and Skype, I ended up going live with Zoom, and I don't usually go live with Zoom. So it was a good little reminder.
Okay, good. Yeah. So we let's talk about some of the tools you use later in the chat. So it looks like we're live right now. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Let's double check. Yes, we are.
Yeah. I'm just going to share it out right now.
Yes. Thank you all, Daniel, Andres. Thank you for checking us out. I think you're in Texas, sir, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you so much. So today I'm really excited because our friend, the digital gal, Amanda Robinson, is here joining us all the way from her living room.
I painted it myself. I mean, I painstakingly had to, choose color swatches and mount my logo up here. That was I did that one by myself too.
I need to do that myself, right in that wall right there. So cool. How are you, my friend?
I'm well. I'm really well.
Awesome. So you are in Canada right now?
Yeah, I'm sitting in beautiful Victoria, British Columbia right now.
Oh, okay, great. So is that a green screen thing going on there?
Yeah, it is. So I can literally just reach behind me. I'm touching my green screen right now, physically touching it.
Yeah, I love it. It looks so real, and it matches with, with your logo and with your outfit. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
So what else is happening in your side of the world, or let's just say, in our neighboring country of Canada? How is the current climate affecting or benefiting some of the things that you're doing?
Well, it's been affecting or benefiting. It's at first, my entire business threw the brakes on. All my clients threw everything on pause. I lost clients who went out of business, and everything was just in quite a weird state of nobody really knew what to do. And then within 2 weeks after that, I got slammed with a huge flood of inquiries and lots of businesses that realized and recognized that they needed to force themselves into an online space. So then tons of inquiries coming through. But now it's kind of leveled out into me understanding that my business is not going anywhere. It's here for the long haul. That the clients that I have been supporting have been able to weather through this and now have rebounded completely strong because of all the work that we've been doing together over the past few years. And now just kind of finding my groove of really understanding what's important. How hard do I want to work? How much do I want to work? And how can I support how can I support more people at once in a way that I'm not burning myself out and I'm able to still show up and help them?
Oh, absolutely. That's one trick that I keep trying to resolve here, facing some similar challenges, right? I am guessing that your message is now so much well received now than earlier, maybe a year ago.
Yeah.
Right? Especially from brick and mortar businesses, or maybe coaches, or clients or prospects that were on your pipeline and they were, uncertain and maybe, fearful to learn something new or to put their staff into the learning curve that it requires, in their mind to take on something new. But now they're open. Now they,
Yeah.
You've seen the same phenomenon, huh?
So what I can say is I'm extremely grateful that I made changes in my business last year that allow me to deliver the trainings that I'm doing this year through all of this. So I went from being an entirely client-based business, so helping just one-on-one, one client. So all of my revenue is coming 100% from client one-on-one work. And then I shut down a huge portion of my business activity to rebuild my business and build in training programs. So I have my boot camp, 4-week Facebook ads boot camp program. And then I also have my Swift Kick in the Ads membership program, because I wanted to be able to help more people and be able to scale it instead of continue just one-on-one. And so I did that last year while I was road tripping and traveling the United States. And then, come our current global situation, global change. And I feel like the time that it took me to build these programs, beta test these programs, run people through the programs, fix the programs, and get them to the point where it's not just what I think I can deliver in my head, it's what's actually helping people get the results that they're looking for. And then our global situation changed. So now I feel better equipped to say, okay, I'm okay. I got this. I can help people and I'm so much more clear now on how I can help people and the different ways I can help people. So whether it's helping with the bootcamp training program, whether it's the membership, whether it's one-on-one coaching, whether it's a full month over month client package, it's been good for me to have that foundation happen way before all of this global change happened. So I felt I could handle it, but I'll be honest, it has been the amount of change that has happened in the influx in business. It's a blessing, but it's also a huge learning curve for me to understand how I can handle more volume and still keep my sanity and make all my deadlines, meet all the timelines, and keep everybody happy. And also be grateful for the pipeline that I have built that is now coming forward, and me saying, okay, I've invested all the marketing dollars and the time and the energy and the relationship building into these potential relationships. And now they're all sort of popping up all at once, and me going, oh, oh, okay.
Yes. Similar phenomenon here. We've been nurturing a lot of leads, a lot of relationships that have been on the fence, and now it's like a pot of popcorn. Things are beginning to pop, right? Like,
Yeah,
one after the other, and we also have to say no to some business that have been wanting to do something. And a lot of people would say, well, that's a good problem to have. And I don't think so. I don't think it's a good
I'm the
problem
same
to
as you.
have to say no to a potential relationship where you can help a business where it's going to increment your revenue. But you don't have the personnel to commit to it. I don't think it's a good.
Yes.
I don't think it's a good. Expression when people tell you that. Oh, that's a good problem to have.
Good problem to have.
I think people with short-sighted vision say that, and right. But I think it's an opportunity to to take this current climate, right, and to help resolve, like you say, more people's situation. People are going out of business. Franchises are going out of business, for crying out loud, right? So in within your offerings, there has to be an internal operations as you are expanding and reaching more people and having more communication. You have had to adopt maybe some systems that have some sort of automation involved. Tell us a little bit about that, because I'm definitely taking some notes.
Well, yeah, with the influx in business, it has forced me to learn to become way more efficient with my time and my schedule and with my systems, and to actually systematize. Is that even a word? Sure. Systematize everything, put it into a system. Whereas before I could handle everything as it came along and just, put little Band-Aid patches on things and continue to evolve my systems. But now it's forced me into, okay, I have to have a proper proposal system, a proper onboarding system, a proper billing system, a proper taxation system. I'm going through everything with my accountant, with my accounts and taxes and everything right now to get everything cleaned up and into a good workflow, so I'm not continuing to add to a pile of stuff I need to sort out later. So I'm starting to get better at that. And then things that have allowed me to grow. I mean, you and I are both huge fans of ManyChat, obviously, and I use Messenger chatbots for my back end of my business, but more from an administrative standpoint and administrative tool. So I have programs that I run, and all my registration is handled through my Messenger marketing chatbot. And it does all the heavy lifting of collecting all the information, putting it onto a spreadsheet, adding them into my email marketing system, getting them onto my Facebook ads, remarketing list, everything. Like it all just happens like a little symphony orchestra behind the scenes. And these are administrative tasks that I don't have to outsource. I don't have to pay a VA. I don't have to circle back around and do myself. And it makes my life, it makes my life so much easier, but it has allowed me to be in a position right now where I can grow my membership, grow my program, and I can still support clients one-on-one, and I can do both. If I didn't have those automation tools set up in the background, and if I didn't know how to use things like Zapier and ManyChat and have my email marketing set up, I would be in over my head right now, especially now that our global situation has changed and there's been such an influx. I mean, there have been times where I'm a pleaser. I want everybody to be happy. I never want anybody to be disappointed, especially disappointed with me. I want to do great work, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to delivering high quality results, but that's a lot of pressure, It's a crushing amount of pressure to put on yourself, especially when you're taking on lots of new business. So in order to handle the mental gymnastics of that, as well as being able to position my systems to get my systems into a better flow now that I have more inquiries and such coming through, and to be able to just handle it all and to keep it all straight and still be a solopreneur. It's been unreal how much I have relied on these systems.
Sure thing. Likewise here. And you said something, the mental gymnastics.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Oh, I had no idea. You know, I feel like, so I've been running my business for probably the last 6 years solo. It was side hustle before then, 6 years independent solo. But I really honestly feel like it's been this year in particular where my eyes are finally wide open and I'm taking business head on and directing it where I want it to go, not just going where it's taking me, where the opportunities are happening, where the open doors are coming. I'm not looking for open doors anymore. I'm busting down my own doors in the direction I want to go. But me thinking, okay, yeah, entrepreneur, I'm going to do this. For me doing this, I also didn't recognize how much mental load I'm taking on in order to do that, because I have to say no to people. I have to be more direct. I have to be more efficient. I have to work harder and smarter. And there's just not as much margin for error or room. There's not as much breathing room. And I know that I feel like I'm an airplane trying to take off on the runway. It's just this huge amount of effort to get up to a nice cruising altitude where everything is in sync, everything is working and firing on all cylinders. And I know as an entrepreneur that never actually exists, but I'm trying to get close to that. Sure. So especially with revamping all of my systems, revamping, my programs, revamping my revenue streams, all of those things, before our whole global situation changed. So the mental load, I don't think I was totally prepared for what the last 4 months have been, but I feel like it took the stress. It has been taking the stress of this to force me to do even better things with my backend systems, with how with just my business, all the stuff that people don't see. So right now you see the pink, you see the lipstick, you see the dangly earrings, you see the logo, you see the branding, you see all of this like up front, like, hey, and you see my Swift Kick in the ads branding everywhere as well. So people are assuming you're doing amazing, you're doing great, you're growing, things are fantastic. But what they don't see is the amount of, it's almost like working 2 jobs. The front job of, hey, I'm here for you. I'm here and I'm helping support my community and supporting the businesses I support. But then I have an entire full-time job in the back end right now, reworking and rejigging how I do business and the foundation I'm sitting on so that I can grow even stronger. I feel like I've been sustaining for the last 6 years, but now I'm hardwired now to grow in the direction I want to, but it takes so much mental load. So
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Guys, if you're listening to this and you can relate, definitely share this live feed, because a lot of people don't talk about these things. A lot of people, they share success and legitimate success, but a lot of people are misguided by a lot of things they see, a lot of content they consume, and there are people with broken dreams following people who promise fast success, but it is a daily grind. I am a firm believer that nobody told us how tough this was going to be.
No, they
We
did.
found
'Cause
ourselves.
you would have run in the other direction if you actually knew.
Yeah. I mean, and I think most entrepreneurs or solopreneurs
Mhm.
don't have the last name or the pedigree, so to speak, who didn't grow in a entrepreneurial home, so to speak.
Yeah.
They'll tell you, if I knew how hard this was, I probably would have chosen otherwise. And now I understand why. Until we find ourselves too deep in the game.
Exactly. Like I'm 110% all in. There is no turning back. There's no going back. I couldn't even stop this if I wanted to. A pandemic could not even bring my business down.
Exactly. So, and I don't think
I'm in.
And I don't think there's even a doubt, for those people who are following you. And it's so cool how Mike Alton, he posted something earlier today, or I don't know if it was yesterday or today. How did you meet Stephanie?
Stephanie Liu.
She's a mutual friend of ours. And then throughout the day, as I was going through social and interacting with some people, I just kept thinking, how did I meet this person who I'm interacting with? It's just like a back thought that just kept lingering. And so as I was getting prepared to this conversation here today, I was thinking, how did we connect? And obviously social media and personally, it was in St. Louis, right? It was in St. Louis at the MDMC last year.
And we knew each other before then. We knew each other online before then.
But I don't think we did. And that's the beauty of of social. If you're using social media right, connecting with people and nurturing the relationships where you're almost like, wait a second, did we meet in person or on the internet? Those are the type of experiences that are meaningful, right? And I think that with automation, a lot of people are missing the mark, right? I think that they're missing the social out of social media, and they're automating things that they're not so good at doing manually. What experience or what kind of tip would you give those who are looking to enhance their personal brand like you are doing with automation in a way that's not robotic, but it's a way that's an extension to your personal brand?
So I'll tell you one example of what I'm doing with using automation, but then making it human again, is that I have so if somebody signs up for one of my programs, then my bot is handling all of the automation. So it's collecting their mailing address, their email address, but I also collect a physical mailing address. So as everything's happening in the background, I still take that and go and get a physical little card and write on a card and put an actual real physical stamp on it, and I send it in the mail. So I'm taking this experience where we can't be in real life, we can't be face to face. I can't shake your hand and say, hi, it's great to sit down and have a drink with you and learn more about your business. I can't necessarily do that. But what I can do is take my systems that are handling all of the touch points that I can't do as a solopreneur, but then I'm taking it and I'm turning it into a real touch point where it's me, it's my handwriting. I'm putting your mailing address on this envelope. I'm putting a stamp on myself and I'm sending it to you.
That envelope with your handwritten notice card and the sticker that it's on my cabinet.
Yeah, you're right.
So I'll post it after this chat. But I attest to that's what she does. And
how does that feel? How does that feel on your end when you get that little note in the mailbox?
It feels like personalized, first of all, right? It's not typed, it's not printed, it's handwritten, right? So you took the time, right? Detail oriented, right? Like, ooh, she is so on point with those emotions that help somebody connect, because at the other side of that screen, at the other side of this device, there's a real human being, with real emotions, right? Broken dreams, etc., etc. So it stands out. It stands out, definitely. It's top of mind. Becomes top of mind in a robotic, digital world. You, the digital gal, is actually enhancing the human experience with these tools and these,
And it's so hard to do. It is so hard to make people feel seen and heard when you spend all your time in front of a screen like this? You know, how do you make people feel understood or heard or even just seen as a human and not just another, you know, digital interaction going back and forth in all of our traffic and all of our notifications that we get? So it is hard to connect with people now. So I'm finding that if I can take this digital experience, especially if your first introduction to me is through a bot, I mean, I don't want you to feel, when you're dealing with the digital gal, I don't ever want you to feel like you're just another number or just, you know, another opt-in. And so if there are ways that I can help bridge that gap and really make you realize that, no, there's a real person over here and I see you as a real person over there. And I'm grateful for any interactions that we have and that we're doing business. And it's time, it's money, it's energy, it's effort. And I can't scale on that level, but I'm realizing that scaling gets me nowhere. Building relationships gets me everywhere. And I'd
Yes,
rather put the time and energy and effort into having human to human interactions
sure.
than, you know, than just trying to scale up as quickly as I can and reach as many people as I can, but having it be lower quality.
Right. And I think that you're achieving the desired outcome. Like just now when I had to think, and I'm still unsure of how do we actually
I
like,
don't even know either.
so that's the desired outcome, I think, because any other person or you know relationship, like yeah, I you know we're connected on Facebook or Twitter or whatever it is. I'm not a Twitter guy, but and you kind
Me
of like,
neither.
and you know just now think conversation, casual conversation, we're like, wait a second, what do you mean, right? So that's the desired outcome because you know it's the
Yeah.
social, you know, you can take the social media, the social away from, you know, relationships outside of social ads, right? So you know you're an ads expert and you're uh putting together or have released some sort of course. Tell us about that.
Oh, yeah, the 4-week Facebook ads boot camp. So I have two options for training. One is my boot camp, and one is my Swift Kick in the Ads membership. The boot camp comes complete with the Swift Kick in the Ads membership. So all my members get the boot camp too, but you can get the boot camp on its own if you're not interested in the other part. So what that is basically helping small businesses and entrepreneurs learn how to do their own Facebook ads, sort of teaching them to fish, so to speak, and without having to spend, you know, $2,000 on a very expensive course. I'd rather see small businesses take those dollars and put them into their own ads. But I want them to be able to learn how to do Facebook ads in a constantly changing environment and in a more efficient, quick way. You don't have 10, 12, 14, 20 hours to sit there and watch recordings on how to do Facebook ads that are outdated the day they hit the shelf. So what I've done is I've created a bootcamp training program. It's 4 weeks long, teaches you everything you need to know about getting up and running with Facebook ads. With week 1, creating the ads using Ads Manager. So we're getting you off the training wheels of the boost button. Week 2, how to do your audiences and targeting. So how to get your ads in front of the right people. Then week 3, budgeting and strategy. How much should you be spending on your ads and how do you strategically get them in front of the right people and move people through your sales funnel? And then week 4 is into reporting and optimizing. So understanding how to read the results. Did it work? Did it not? And how to make the improvements. So it happens in a 4-week span of time. And anyone who's in the boot camp can continually retake it every time I rerun it, which is probably every 2 to 3 months. So every time, so basically you can take the boot camp as many times as you want and get current information flowing at you every step of the way. And I found from the experience I've had with the boot camp, I originally started it thinking, you know, I'll charge X number of dollars, get people into the boot camp, they'll go through it, and then they'll be up and running, creating their own ads. That's not the reality. The reality I found from all of the people that I've put through this boot camp over the last year and a half is that they'll take it, they'll get a fire hose of information that wakes their brain up and says, oh, that's how ads are supposed to work. Oh, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay. So they're paying attention now. Then they go and try it on their own and realize, wait a second, I'm in over my head. Something's changed. But rather than have to go and pay for an expert or pay for a consultation, by then another boot camp is running again and they can tune in, see the fresh information and play along play by play now that their mind is ready for it, now that they're actually ready for it and they're actually ready to implement. And that's where it really clicks and sinks in. So I feel like I've cracked this little code on helping people learn ads and implement by giving them the opportunity to be exposed to it, and then have it sink in. And I don't know of any other courses or programs that are doing that at an attainable cost with, I'm not going to lie, the amount of effort that I put into this bootcamp training program is intense. It's for the prep, the work, everything that goes into it. It's a lot, but it's worth it because the people who are going through that bootcamp training program, it is a lead system for me. I do get lots of work out of the people who have taken the bootcamp, but it's a system that is working, and that's the foundation. And if I can get people rolling on the foundation, then I'm creating a community. I'm creating an opportunity where I can have better working relationships, better personal relationships, and extend that forward in an area where businesses and entrepreneurs aren't being taken for a ton of money and getting no results. Because most businesses who have taken any other ads courses go through the courses and then they're still sitting there at the end of the day going, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yes. There's that accountability factor that doesn't exist in many of these course offerings, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of great minds putting together a lot of great courses, but I believe that the people who actually finish those courses are the people who mostly benefit from the content, right? But the statistics are against that to happen, right? Most people don't finish the courses. Most people don't put into practice what they buy because psychological, triggers that I did something, but then I'm going to put it on the shelf, right? So,
and rolling with those psychological triggers, the other portion of this, the way I found it more successful in this format is that I'm teaching it live. So by teaching it live, and I live stream into a closed Facebook group, and I can bring people's comments up on screen as I go. So it's an opportunity where people are able to actually talk and engage back and forth. So it's not just a static video. They can ask questions as we go. I can answer their questions as we go. I can acknowledge them, say hello to them, talk back and forth to them. And so when you feel like you're being heard and you feel like you can get your questions answered as we go, it gives people an opportunity to actually pay attention and to not just hit a wall. I mean, if you were watching an hour-long pre-recorded video on dry content, learning how to do Facebook ads, your brain's going to switch off about 300 times throughout that.
In 1
minute. But if you're watching a video with someone who is crazy passionate about Facebook ads, who is very excited and can break it down into normal people speak, put in some analogies that make it click and make sense, and answer your questions as we go, and it's live, then it's easier for people to tune in and keep their attention rolling. And it is a tough topic to get your head around from start to finish with the volume of information that's getting dropped in there. So I really honestly feel like my goal is to actually teach people how to do their own ads, not just show you, but actually teach you and have you implement. And part of that as a trainer is learning how to crack the psychological triggers and learning how to actually work with your actual human brain, your actual attention span, because that's the currency we're working in, is attention span. It's very hard to keep it. And I know how hard it is to give it. So to be able to find a balance, to be able to teach a more technical topic, but actually have it land, that's what I keep striving for. And I make improvements on this bootcamp every single time I run it.
Oh, guys, so if you want to get your swift kicking the ads, you know where to go.
Yeah.
Go to Amanda's Bootcamp and get your ads kicked.
Okay, so now I want to hear about your programs and your business, what you've been working on, because you from the outside looking in, it looks like you have been doing a ton of work and making a ton of headway with business.
Well, it's been the same thing or parallel as your experience, right? So we have been sharing a message that for some people has been confusing, or they don't understand it, or maybe for a long time I made the mistake of offering it the wrong way, right? So I'm an automation guy, right? I've been building chatbots for 3.5 years, basically, spending a lot of time on this chair. Well, not really this chair. The chair is brand new. My other chair, I don't know if you saw it, but my other chair was falling apart. But so that's how long I've been building bots and having temper tantrums in that other chair when things don't work out. And that's basically how my agency turned into an agency where I didn't know exactly what my offering was. You know, I was offering, web services. Yeah, so you need an app guy? I know a guy. And yeah, I went from offering all of that to slowly but surely, you know, now we're an automation agency, right? So for the most part, we also do strategy, but that's like, you know, the smaller the percentage of the clients that we're taking. I've driven into the helping brands tap into the Latino buying power because I'm not sure if you caught on to it. An accent, and I speak Spanish as well. So that has allowed me to present that offering as something that kind of stands out of my local environment, and being able to help some brands outside of the US, being able to, you know, get the know-how and some tactics and tools that we use here in the US that maybe they are slow to adopt. So
I have heard that in the US there's or in English speaking marketers, there are resources available all over the place. You can get anything at your fingertips in English that you want to learn the tools and tricks and tactics. But I've heard that there's quite a struggle to be able to get the same caliber and the same volume of content in other languages. So it really does stunt your ability to grow your business, grow your entrepreneurship, or to be able to keep up with all the changes, especially in automation and chatbots in the world that you're in, where things change literally every day.
Yes, yes, that's absolutely right. So the same need or change in ever changing environment, you know, keeps us on our toes, right?
Yeah.
If you're considered an expert at something nowadays, if you hang out too long and don't pay attention for 2 weeks, you're not an expert anymore.
So let me tell you a fun
Go
story.
behind the wall.
Fun story last year during Facebook F8, when, you know, back in the day where F8 could happen in real life with real people. So Facebook F8 is when they announce all of the new changes, all of the updates roll out, all of the new up and coming things that are going to be coming for the year. It's like the Super Bowl of Facebook ad geeks. Well, last year I was going on a family vacation and we were going to the Dominican, and I was at the airport, in the airport, watching on my laptop, watching the F8 before we were to plane and take off. And Facebook was dropping all of this information and all this knowledge about all the changes, specifically changes coming to Messenger. And there are so many nuggets being dropped. But what's happening, I'm flying, I'm about within 45 minutes, I'm getting on an airplane. And then from that airplane, I'm getting off to a resort where I don't have internet. So I basically went dark for a whole week. It's like I got dropped with all the amazing changes and exciting things that are happening. And then there's nothing I could do about it. I couldn't comment on it. I couldn't give my 2 cents. I couldn't keep track of all the traffic of conversations going back and forth about it. So I basically went dark in a little hole for a week. And then I come back and I'm left behind. I'm left in the dust. The amount of catch-up time to catch up on the news, catch up on the changes, catch up on what happened. And, you know, because when they make a lot of those announcements, a lot of new features do switch on at the same time. So I swore to myself, and I said, I'm never going on vacation or leaving again during Facebook F8. That's it. That's one I have to be present for.
Absolutely. And let alone when you are using different platforms, if you will, and one changes, the other one changes, and the other one changes.
It's a domino effect.
Yeah, and now you're like, okay, now I got to change my own stuff here first, and then revise all the build outs that I've had, and so it creates opportunity, creates a challenge at the same time, and not a lot of people last too long. You know, just like in any other business, a lot of people just go back to taking it as a hobby. But you and I have been putting a lot of skin in the game.
Yes.
Right. We're at conferences. We're teaming up with global software companies. Right. So it's just so cool to learn from you and to be inspired by you and other people at Agora Pulse Camp and ManyChat, and it's just so cool to be part of this, because about a year ago I just about a year ago, things were different, right? Things were different on my end, and I definitely didn't see a lot of things that are happening right now coming. Just helping clients in different continents, and just the relationships that we've built throughout our grind, really, right? So
I've
really,
loved watching your journey over the last year and just and I love how passionate you are and how excited, like you celebrate, you take the time to celebrate your wins and you allow people to celebrate with you. You're not just playing the look at me, look at me. You're saying, we did it. Look at this next milestone, this next step. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. And you bring people along on your journey with you. And that's been amazing to watch.
well, thanks for your attention, right? So that's our currency that we're competing for, right? First of all, is attention. There's a lot of people, competing for that, and it's I'm storifying my journey, right? So there are a lot of times that I share, man, I'm in a bad place right now, right? There's been those times, and I'm not so vocal about those times, but
that was me all of 2018.
But they occur, right? They occur, and sometimes we're like, you know what? People need to share this, and people need to share me, without my green screen here. Actually, it's not a green screen, but you hear what I'm saying.
I can't give up my green screen. This is an essential nutrient part of the digital gal.
Mine is 3D. Occasionally you'll see a dog or two.
I know, I have seen, yeah. I've got small dog passed out on the carpet over there.
Yeah. Oh, you should have brought him on the live, but
see if I can encourage him over.
Yeah, it's so cool to also see that you are traveling and you are not anchored to a scenario like here, and you are on the road. You're flying drones and just having on kayaks and trying different cameras. This is so cool. So I'm inspired by that. And I'm sure you are inspiring a lot of people out of
it's so funny after posting. So I did some drone. I'm learning how to fly my little drone, my little DJI Mavic Mini, and it was pretty awesome. I'm really happy with how it turned out. But when I posted that, then I've got Bella Basta was saying that she went and bought one. I talked to Steve Dotto. He's now gone and bought one, all because I put out that little video. And it's amazing. It's amazing. Oh, I wish. And you get a drone, and you get a drone.
I'm about to get one.
Yeah, that's but they you know what I found personally, that flying a drone or playing, doing photography or doing all of these little activities outside off of the computer screen, it's like my therapy. It's like a mental to be able to go sit on the side of the beach, fly a drone for an hour or until the batteries die and almost crash, things like that. I'm finding that I have to find time and find ways to get off the computer screen, because my hobbies, I used to be heavily into photography and into graphic design and photoshopping. I love photoshopping. I could get lost in Photoshop for hours and hours and hours and just build. It's just my own little artwork, my own little world of artwork that never sees the light of day. It never gets posted anywhere. It's just the stuff I like to do, but it's still on a computer screen. And so I'm finding that I'm getting mentally fatigued after being on a computer screen all day, heavily into analytics and algorithms and spreadsheets and ads. And then when I want to switch off into my creative brain, it's still on the computer and I'm burning out. So I've had to go and find other hobbies that are not on a computer screen. And I have to literally force myself, set the timer. And when my Google alarm goes off, that's it. I got to shut down, get off the computer, go outside and walk my dog and then come back. And I'll do an evening work session after that. But I'm forcing myself to get better balance, especially with this influx of work and influx of needing to revamp my systems. It's been, getting outside has been crazy important.
Yes, I believe that. And I'm getting better at that.
It's hard.
I'm also guilty as charged when it comes to burning out, right? So I think that's not, by choice, right? By choice. Those times when I put more than I think my body welcomes, I think to myself, well, I've burned out for other reasons before. Why not burn out for something that I'm creating, something that is providing value to an audience and maybe two audiences. And So that's what drives me, and I'm sure that eventually, like you, I will keep enhancing systems and processes, here on our end to serve more people and to, just reach our goals we intended for 2020 and those for our clients. So
I think you and I fall into a very interesting category where we're still doing the work, we're hands-on, we're doing the work servicing clients and helping individual people, but we're also in this role where we've kind of stumbled into the personal branding space where we're branding ourselves, we're putting ourselves out there, we're putting the effort behind making sure we're increasing the number of people that we're reaching, but we also are inspiring people. So people are eyes on us, they're learning from us, they're watching us, and we're still doing the work at the same time. And occasionally it amps up the pressure on us for sure.
Sure.
And we still are human. So we do burn out and we do have good weeks. We have great weeks. We have great months, but then we have weeks or months where things just aren't in sync. They're not going right. We have issues with clients. We have issues with billing. We have issues with the systems changing, issues with, Facebook making changes every other day. We have our normal challenges, and then we have life that still happens behind the scenes with personal relationships and all the fun things that go on. So I'm finding that my ability to show up and be present and continue to be inspiring or to help or not help or learn when to, take my hands off the wheel and say, I need a break, or, when to put the foot full down on the gas pedal and say, okay, it's go time. I feel like I'm a toddler learning how to walk. And I feel like that's probably never going to change because the game is always changing.
Yes.
I think that's where you and I are that unique breed of, we can handle the hits. We can continually handle those hits and we still keep going. And we're not trying to explode on scene and be the next biggest thing. We're slow and steady. We're focused and we're moving one foot in front of the other because we do have an ability to help people and make their businesses more successful. But in order to do that, we still have to keep ourselves upright. And that's a daily learning challenge.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I tell people that I have to sell myself every single morning, one way or another, into knowing that what I'm going to do today is going to be worthwhile, right?
Yes.
And I had to do that for a very long time without seeing it manifesting.
Oh, that's hard.
Right?
That's hard. That's hard.
Yeah, and just like continuing. Eventually, the sower who keeps on sowing, eventually something, something grows eventually, right? So that's one of the things that has helped me, I believe, just share that realness, right? Just a lot of the times when I post on social and I tell people, it's 80% of the time it's me talking to myself. I just let you hear it. I just let you hear it.
You're
Like,
your own cheerleader in the background, like,
now,
okay, we got this.
Don't quit now, go for it. And that's for me. I'll let you guys hear it, but hopefully it's for someone else, right?
Well, it's working because I see your posts, I read your content all the time, and there are days where you post something and I'm like, I can feel that. I'm like, oh, I feel that so hard. And thank you for saying it out loud because I was thinking the same thing and I needed that little pick me up today.
Yeah,
so
sometimes it's not like hey, sometimes it's like, oh, I am lonely and I'm in a dark place and I'll be right back with you in a couple of days.
Yeah. Please talk to my chatbot in the meantime.
I'm gonna go hang out with my dogs at the beach.
Yeah. Well, every Valentine's Day, I need to revamp it and put out a better one. But every Valentine's Day, I put out a Valentine's bot. And the sole purpose of that Valentine's bot is just to compliment you and make you smile. That's it. And it's just a positive little touch point or little interaction to make somebody's day better in amongst all of the marketing stuff going back and forth. It's not always about give me your email address, get an opt-in, get on my list and let me market to you.
The marketing piranhas and
there's a certain amount of I want people to be able to interact with technology and have a positive experience with it instead of, fall into any of the numerous traps out there.
UX is all about the user's experience and how you make people feel with these tools. Thank you so much. I don't want to take much of your time, but real quick, how is that monitor that you posted the other day? How's that? Like super wide?
I'm looking at it right now, 34-inch ultra wide. So let's put it this way. there's a corner of my monitor. There's the other corner of my monitor. No, for real.
Wow.
It is. So I have a co-working space that I can go to. I have a 1 day a week at a co-working space where I can go and work at a co-working space and feel like I'm around other humans. And it's been great for my soul. But now that I've got my monitor here, because I've spent so much time doing all of these complex tasks on a screen that's this big, and I finally had this awakening moment of like, why am I doing this to myself? How much do I love myself? Do I love myself enough to invest the money to make my life ergonomically more easy?
Yes.
And that's a game changer. Now that I have that, I'm like, instead of working like this all day, I'm now, oh, okay, open up, like use the workspace that I have available. Yeah, exactly. But now the side effect of that is I'm paying for the co-working space, and I don't want to leave. Like I should have been there this afternoon working today, but I'm like, but I need to get ads up and running today. And if I'm working on ads and spreadsheets, I'm like, oh, I don't want to be without my monitor.
Right.
So it's pretty funny how it changes things.
Yeah, so I stepped up my game since I commented on that photo you shared. So I had two before that, and I said, man, I don't really want to buy that big toy yet. I'm just gonna add another screen.
Oh
so
man!
left out.
So now you're just
free. But
so now you have the spaceship.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
I shouldn't tell you about the other toy that I just purchased.
What'd you get?
I bought myself a Wacom tablet. Do you know what that is?
Which one?
A Wacom tablet. So what it is, it's like a little drawing pad, goes on your desk and has a pen, a digital pen. Okay, and so when you're in Photoshop or InDesign or doing any type of designing, it's a pressure sensitive pen. Sure. It's kind of imagine like the Apple Pencil.
Okay.
It's similar to that, but it operates on it's like a pad that sits on your desk and has a bunch of quick keys you can program. So it's fantastic for designing and for doing any type of photoshopping. So rather than having a mouse and you're trying to draw a fine line with, click and like get your wrist to do things it doesn't normally do. No. So and I've had Wacom tablets in the past. They're amazing. And it's just a pen. It becomes more and more intuitive to just use it as my mouse to go and click and do things, drag and then use it when I'm doing design. So I finally, now that I've got the monitor, it's been like a catalyst to going, why am I working the hard way on all these things where I'm super uncomfortable and I'm doing these tasks every single day? It's not something I do every now and then. I live in this space on the computer for, 12 to 16 hours a day. So why not invest in myself and make it easier? So that's the 2.0. So I'll be posting photos when that gets here.
That's cool. Yes, I'm a firm believer that you have to make your workspace comfortable and accessible. And I've been guilty of just having piles of stuff here on my desk, and equally your mind just begins to be confused at just common tasks. Just having a clean area. It's a challenge, but I'm getting better at that.
I'm sitting in a sea of technology right now between all the little tech pieces I need to get the technology. Like I need to put the snap sunglasses away. I need to put my Stream Deck away. I need to put like all these things that are just, it's digital clutter, but it's because in my mind, I'm like, ooh, I'm going to use that today. Or, ooh, I have one use for that. And then I never put it away.
Quick question. How many tabs have you opened on your browser right now?
Currently right this exact second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 right now, and that's light. And that's why I did download, our mutual friend Angela posted a really cool hack, that a Chrome extension called the Great Suspender. And so I've downloaded that Chrome extension called the Great Suspender. And what it does is it suspends all of your inactive tabs in the background.
Okay. Oh.
So anything that I'm not using, it goes dormant. The tab goes dormant. And then if I click on the tab, it wakes it back up again. So because Google Chrome is a little bit of a beast on your operating system. So by using this little plugin, the Great Suspender, I've been able to tone down my tab addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tab suspender is called?
The Great Suspender.
The Great Suspender. I'm gonna have to Google that and download it for Chrome.
been very helpful for me, even realizing how many tabs, like when I do now go back to activate the tab again, I realize how many tabs I'm using simultaneously, how many of them I open and then come back to and go, oh, I probably could have closed that. So it's teaching me, it's teaching me some better habits.
Yeah, the other day, Jenny was here working in her desk, and I told her, I said, "Hey, babe, I think I'm getting better at closing tabs and being minimalistic, whatever." And then I counted them; it was 40. I had 40 tabs still open, 20 on this browser and like 20 on this one. I said, "That's not true minimalism."
That's
like, how many did I really have open before this? Like,
I think we call that tab hoarding.
Okay, that's I guess there's a term for that. It's a condition, right?
It is. I mean, we're gonna have to have an intervention.
we do a patch or something. Talking about multi screens and funky things. Let's take a selfie here.
Awesome.
Like this.
Okay.
It's my 3 screens with you there. 3, 2. Oh, I'm about to drop.
Oh, I was ready.
3, 2, 1. Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for joining us. I don't want to take any more of your time before you kick my ads.
This was awesome because it's most of the time these are formal, promoted, marketing based chats. It's just nice to have from one friend to another to be able to jump on and just geek out and chat. I really enjoyed this a lot.
Good. So did I. Thank you so much for joining us. Until hopefully next time we meet at a conference or a dance floor or a drone competition.
I tell you, most of the people who have watched the drone portion of this conversation, they're all Googling DJI Drone Mini. How much is that?
I'm about to do that right now.
Yeah, I know. Let me know if you end up buying one because you'll just get added to my list of people that,
I have to join
that I have to apologize to in the future.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Ciao.
Take care now. Bye-bye.